Oh, and Alexi's gonna love this. Just hold the trigger and have some fun. 4 kills. And he's gonna go for it. He's bloodthirsty, falling in the smoke with the knife, and Alexi wants none of that right in the face.
Ja ottaa sinä NPK-henkiltä tietysti kaikki pyssyt mitä sais pois, niin se on aina tilastoihin mukava lisää, sitten tiputtaa myöskin Aleksin seuraavaksi. Ja 30 sekkaa aikaa Aleksille, siellä alkaa tulla kaikki vastustajat nyt päälle, radiohuoneesta tulossa 2 päälle. Ja tiputtaville Tsiponkin ottaa sitä.
Glaive through the smoke, finds Stewie and another one! How has he done it? Oh my god, the Creed! That is a savage sequence from Glaive! And
17 points of health in a dream. This would be an ace clutch from Fallen.
I'm believing.
You're a bit of a believer. Would you suggest that you don't want to stop believing?
Why don't you cast around?
Okay, tags up. 1. He's gonna get. Oh! I'm starting to believe as well, Henry, because he's gone and taken flaming. Oh, Fallen! Stop blowing my mind! This is gonna be absolute madness. A round that we will forget, because there goes Zeus. Saving the day for Na'Vi, but could you stop? He's actually got away with it. Zeus is out of the round.
No way.
Okay, so if you clicked on this video, you're probably thinking about picking up the IGL role, and I could tell you firsthand that it takes a lot more time and dedication to be an IGL than it is to be an entry fragger. Because all you have to do to be an entry fragger is run in, get as much damage done as possible, and relay the information back to your team on where the enemies are playing from. Now, if you're an IGL, you're not going to be worried about yourself. You're going to be worried about your team, where the enemies are, and how to play off the map control that you have or lost to win the round. Being an IGL is not something you just pick up. You learn over time how to become better. So with that being said, here's some things you're going to note before you actually pick up this role, and you're going to see if it's right or wrong for you. First off, your stats are going to take a hit. You're not going to be worried about how good or bad you're playing. All you're going to be worried about is the score line. And number 2 is your team comes before you. You're trying to make do with what you can. You work around your team. Where the map control is, what you've lost, you have to be quick and you have to work with the situations that you're given. And working on the fly is what makes a good IGL from a bad IGL. If you can work from different situations and pull rounds out of your ass that you had no chance of winning, then that just makes you a good IGL. And if you can't do that, you need to work and get better, because it's all about adapting to the situations that you're put in to get your team to the round victory. So let's say you know that this role is for you. So how do you get better? You're working and you're not really seeing improvements. You're not doing good as an IGL. How do you get better? Well, the first thing you should do with anything is look at the professionals. How are they doing it? What's the communication like? What's the strats that he's doing? Where's he positioning himself? Where's the team positioning himself? And just basically try to mimic or add on to their playstyle. That should be the first thing you should do, besides practice. Practice makes perfect, and that is true with pretty much everything. If you practice at something, you're determined, you're dedicated, and you will be good enough eventually to go somewhere. Now, being an IGL is somewhere that when you look in the past, like Counter-Strike, you don't have to be the best mechanical player in the world to be a good IGL. Some of the IGLs, with the exception of Glaive and Astralis, because he's insane, and if I would suggest looking at some of his demos in Counter-Strike to know how a good IGL is played. But you can be a good IGL without having the mechanical skill. Now, that's not saying that you cannot compete. You have to be able to compete with the best of the best. You don't have to be on your aim on Adderall 24/7 because you are the guy controlling your troops. Just know, with time, you'll become better. And if your team is seeing results, that's just saying that you're doing a good job. You're doing your job. You look at the scoreboard and you're kind of down there. You're thinking, oh, man, I don't belong here. You know, I can't compete. That's not true. That's going to happen. You look at all the professional games. Yeah, sure, they might pop off. But generally speaking, they're towards the bottom unless they're insane. But IGLs, they don't steal the limelight in terms of highlights and frags. That's more the entry fragger or the second in. You're not going to be the star of the team. You're going to be the guy that glues them together and gets the win. As long as your team is winning, you're doing your job. And that's all that's important about being an IGL. Just don't even, you can unbind your tab button because it's not important. All that matters is the number at the top of your screen.